Lindsay Lohan is fresh and clean as a whistle in Irish Wish. Well, that's Irish Spring. I'm sorry.
Yes, well,
and they are not a sponsor of our reviews today.
No, neither is Lucky Charms, but I may launch into that voice at some point too.
I am not the one who's getting married. She is.
Exactly. You, my friend, are marrying Paul Kennedy.
The Lohanaissance continues. We had Falling for Christmas over the holidays, and now she's not going to let St. Patrick's Day slip past her. So we've got Irish Wish. She plays Maddie, a Manhattan book editor who is madly in love with her best-selling author, Paul, whose work she basically is writing. The movie kind of implies, or at least she's very heavily involved in making his books suck less. But he does not get that he's into her, and worse, is suddenly into her best friend. Cut to Maddie traveling to Ireland, where author and best friend are getting married, and she's trying to put a brave face on for the whole thing. She finds a bench that is dedicated to St. Bridget, where apparently if you sit on it and close your eyes and make a wish, it might come true. She wishes that she were marrying the author, and wouldn't you know it, she is now. Complications ensue, especially when she meets a hunky photographer played by Ed Speleers of Outland. And, you know, she's got to figure out what it is she really wants in this world. I was charmed by this. Yes.
I did not hate it at all.
Okay, this is a Brad Cravoy joint. He's the MPCA guy, and his Netflix movies are basically Hallmark movies with a slightly larger budget, a bigger star at the center of it, and better use of location footage. So you've got Lindsay Lohan Lohaning the crap out of this movie and being super charming and funny and reminding us why we've always loved her. You've got really good use of the Irish exteriors, these beautiful cliff sides and lakes and, you know, all kinds of things going on, and you know, you've got a Hallmark plot line, and so if that's what you're here for, that's what you're gonna get.
Totally. And this is very much cut from the same cloth as Falling for Christmas, which we also reviewed here recently, directed by the same woman, Janeen
Damian.
Hold on. Damian, right? Because she's Michael Damian's wife, right?
Right. And he's the producer. You know, Michael Damian, you may remember, soap star, rock on guy. And yeah, they're like a unit now. This is what they do. They make movies like this.
That's so funny. And as we were talking about earlier, Janeen Damian's dad is James Best, better known as Roscoe P. Coltrane from Dukes of Hazzard.
For me, he'll always be the lead in The Killer Shrews, but you know, potato. He's a legend either way.
Yeah. So she must have some trust, because this is the second movie she's made with this director, and it feels like there's a real warmth here and a real knowledge of playing to her strengths, because she gets to show off all that comic timing, which is still there, like it never went away. She gets to do some goofy physical humor, some pratfalls, some of which are corny, some of which make sense, but she's game for all of it.
Exactly.
She looks like she's having fun. She looks comfortable and light and breezy.
I mean, that's the thing. It's like sometimes you know, people leave and they come back to, and it's this notion of like, does it look like they're being held at gunpoint? And no, Lohan is clearly relishing this opportunity and having a good time making these movies. And I hope that people are noticing that, you know, she is still got that star quality.
For sure. And this fits very squarely into the kind of Lindsay Lohan role that we know. When I did your Maximum Film podcast with you and Drea, we were talking about the duality of Lindsay Lohan and how quite often there's another version of her, whether it's a twin or it's, you know, the mean girl version of Katie Heron that she eventually becomes. Like, she's playing two different people quite often. And that is and also, Falling for Christmas, she freaking hits her head on a tree while she's skiing and forgets that she's a bitchy hotel heiress and learns to make cookies and enjoy it.
and fold a fitted sheet.
Yeah. So this is like that, in that she's still the same person, but she's living in this parallel universe where she is supposed to marry the guy she thinks is the guy of her dreams. And of course, it's, you know, it's all foretold. The journey is the destination. We know she's going to end up with the other guy, or that she's at least meant to end up with the other guy. They have a really great chemistry too, I thought, like really smart, kind of old school romantic comedy chemistry.
Yeah, the great dance scene together. There's a weird use of Jane Seymour Seymour in this movie.
Let's talk about that.
So,
or lack of use of Jane Seymour.
Yeah, like she plays Lindsay Lohan's mom and only ever comes in either via FaceTime or in other locations where Lindsay Lohan and the rest of the cast are not present. So she's basically in her own movie. And then also, like at the beginning of this film, you can kind of tell that, like, all right, we're shooting in Ireland, which means the New York segment is also Ireland. And there's this weird panoply of accents going on where, like, one of the best pals sounds like she went to, you know, boarding school in Gstaad or something. And then Jane Seymour has an American accent. And I'm like, what? It's a lot to juggle. But, you know, whatever. You just kind of roll with it.
There's a moment where before Lindsay Lohan even goes to Ireland, she's in New York, okay?
Right.
She's on Eastern time. It's nighttime. It's very dark. She gets a FaceTime from her mom in Des Moines, Iowa, and it's broad daylight.
At Des Moines, that's Central Time, right?
Is it Central Time? Okay, but still, like,
even if it's mountain, like, come on.
It looks like it's a whole different day, and it's like broad daylight at the school in Des Moines, Iowa, and where it says in big letters, Des Moines, Iowa. Like, how did Lindsay Lohan get from Des Moines, Iowa to here? It's just, how is she friends with both of these young women? Like, that doesn't make sense at all.
Yeah, it definitely raises many questions. But, you know, like, once the wish kicks into it, script logic is entirely like predicated upon Saint Bridget popping in and making mischief and guiding events, so you can't really like pick too hard at the nonsense that's going on here. But yeah, like if you just want to see a breezy rom-com with some lovely location shooting and Lindsay Lohan being Lindsay Lohan in the way that she knows how, this movie delivers. Like, I don't want to oversell it, but you know, it does, as our dear friend Matt would say, it does what it says on the box.
It does, yeah. It'd be easy to tool on it. And you have seen many, many bad versions of this movie over the years. So
I have.
You know whereof you speak. Okay, so where's your number then on Irish Wish?
I'm going to say it's a 7, but it's a Hallmark 7. Let's just so we're clear.
Okay, so what does that mean exactly?
Well, it just means like for this kind of movie, I know it's a Hallmark 7.5. I'll even say on the scale of like the most you can expect from this kind of movie, as far as like the writing, the acting, the everything. This is a solid 7.5. It's well done. It's entertaining. It's fun to watch, but it's not a 7.5 the way like a theatrical movie would be a 7.5, if that makes sense.
Okay. I will say, yeah, like a 7.8, because it does what it needs to do. It has beautiful locations, like that castle that the jerk fiance lives in is beautiful. The cliffs, the pubs are charming, nice chemistry with the other male lead. Like it does what it needs to do for like a pleasant Saturday afternoon. Like you've not even a cold. You might not even have to have a cold.
You don't have to be sick to enjoy this.
You don't have to be on cold medicine. You don't have to be folding your laundry. You can just sit and enjoy it on the couch and pay attention that it's due to Lindsay Lohan's pinpoint comic timing.
Enjoy it before you're going to go do whatever you're going to go do for St. Patrick's Day.
All right. Let us know if you guys see it. It is on Netflix.